Hey everyone, it's Jessie from Condo to Cottage. Happy Sunday. It is actually a pretty warm day here in New Jersey. I want to say it's like higher 70s and it's actually pretty humid. So it is, it was starting to feel like fall and now it's kind of starting to feel a little not so fallish, but that is okay because what that means for my garden is I still have green plants, I still have producing plants, and there's lots of gnats. Making it a still summer garden feel. So it's actually a little tricky because I had been planning and planting things for the fall garden, but I'm not ready to pull out the things that are in my summer garden that are still producing. So it's a little bit tricky this time of year, especially when you have weird weather like this, where it went from us having nights in the low 30s to, or not low 30s, oh my goodness, not yet, high 30s to, last night I don't think it got out of the 60s. So it is a little strange. So that is what's going on here. We do have some projects we're doing outside of the house. So I told you guys last week we stained the deck and now we're going to be staining the front porch a darker color just because lots of wear and tear, and especially with chickens. One of the things that people don't really talk about with backyard chickens is just how they get into everything and they go to the bathroom on everything. So we need to protect our the wood frame and and our deck and everything like that. If you keep them cooped, they don't do that, but we let ours free range because these gnats are really rough today. Because they really help with tick prevention and other insect activity, and they're happier and healthier. So you will notice that they are not in the video today because we do have to keep them cooped while we prepare the deck to be stained. So they are not out and about right now. Our neighbors also just put down grass seed, and anytime you put any kinds of seeds down, you want to put your chickens away too, because for them it's no different, the grass seed versus the bird seed that I throw at them to make them really happy. So they will pick through that grass seed in a matter of a day. So what we have going on in the garden, besides trying to get some fall plants established, is just a lot of growth still with the summer crops. So my tomatoes are still growing, not just like going strong, but they're growing actually. So pretty crazy. So let's take a look around here, give you guys the little tour. Oh, our insane tomato patch, it's gotten even more insane, honestly. It's really starting to encroach. I actually might trim this back just because it's starting to encroach upon my beets that I really do want to be able to grow. So beets and carrots are in here. Got our collection of beets here and a collection of carrots, and this empty space I'm going to seed with some stuff. I'll show you that in a second. But this tomato patch is insane, and we have been getting a ton of tomatoes out of it. I mean, if you just kind of look down here, you can see all of the tomatoes that are available. We've been making baked cherry tomato pasta. I froze some this week, so finally we're able to, all summer having all these tomatoes, we couldn't do any kind of like food prepping for the winter and stuff like that, but we have enough now that we are. And look at all the flowers still. I mean, there's just a ton of flowers, so we are still going to get a lot of tomatoes off of this guy as long as we don't get a freeze. Now, that is possible that we will get a freeze. I mean, even just look at our trees back there. It's definitely fall, so it can happen really at any day. We are having a lot of little strawberries, little baby strawberries, and they're very yummy, nice and sweet, big spider web. So that's going on this part. Let's see. Then we have, like I was saying, oh my goodness, I do have to come out here and pick more vegetables. I just did a little bit ago, but need to pick more. Beets, carrots, random dead tomato plant that I just picked a ton of tomatoes off of. Purple potted pole beans. Got just some random beans in here, honestly. They're just fun to chop up and put into like a salad or a stir fry. I just do them like that because I don't have enough to get more. This ground cherry is kind of taking over whatever I planted here, which I think was beets, the way I planted them, but I can't really remember. That's just my MO. This ground cherry, though, is very prolific. I mean, it's been producing a lot of cherries, and, you know, I have to say, it is nice. Look at these cute little flowers. I just love them. It is nice to have, it's like a sweet, you know, like a fruit in the summer garden, because we don't have any fruit trees. So really, this is the only type of fruit besides grapes or besides grapes that we tried to plant this year, or like blueberries, and those did not do so well for us. So the fact that we do have some sort of fruit is pretty cool. And then I have the eggplant. This one is not gonna really survive. This guy, I mean, I think because this ground cherry is just kind of taken over. Oh my God, look at that spider. Ooh, yuck. Okay, I'm not gonna touch that guy. He blended right in. I don't see any pollination happening. So that's my concern with this eggplant. It just might not be pollinating. But also, look at the spikes on that. It's pretty crazy because who was I talking to? Can't remember. A friend of mine, oh, maybe it was my friend Courtney, about the eggplant spikes when you try and pick them and how much they hurt. And like now I'm seeing them and they are very spiky. So yeah, got that going on. That spider's really freaking me out. Notice the blue, sorry for the focus issues. Notice the blue, this is actually pests for like cold, it's for plumbing actually. But we have that going on because we are going to be doing some frost cover for the kale, which I can show you. We did have some brassicas here, but they're probably not going to do anything before we get a frost. That's okay. So then we have, let's see, this tomato plant still got some green fruit on there. Look at these cute little guys. They're like little, I just love them. They look like little gathered fabric. Pretty cool. This tomato plant is still growing. So this is what I was saying. Let me show you guys. If you can see the new growth, I mean, this thing is just really thriving right now, which is pretty crazy. What is not thriving is the kale. And look at these huge tomato plants as well. The kale, not so much. It's been totally eaten, totally gone. So what I'm going to do is actually because here's the situation. This is the predicament. To get the frost cover on would mean that it would be getting some extra insulation, which at this time of year, it's, you know, the high today is 78. I'm not so sure that wouldn't cause it to be too warm and that the kale could potentially go to seed, which I don't want. So it's like, if I put the kale under the frost cover, I won't have the cabbage worms situation where they've eaten all of my kale. But if I put them under the frost cover, then it might go to seed at this point. So I'm going to try and get BT. I have never tried to use BT, but a woman that I started talking to on Instagram, check out our Instagram, Condo to Cottage. She really recommended BT. It's an organic type of spray, so it's actually a bacterium bacteria that they grow, and it's not harmful to the plants. And I generally haven't used it because I didn't want to use any kind of spray that would damage moths or butterflies, because it goes after like caterpillars. However, it's totally killing my crop, and I'm just going to spray the stuff that needs it. So that's my goal to do this week. The frost fabric is going to be really helpful for us, but I'm just worried that it might be a little bit too soon for it. However, my kale is being destroyed. So this bug right in my face. Then over here, we've got tomatoes still growing, zinnias growing. I need to water my garden very badly because we have gotten no rain, so I'm going to do that. Look at my basil, it's like totally shot, but I mean, it'll come back. Basil's pretty resilient. There was actually a basil over here I think is totally dead. Yeah, forgot about that guy. Oops. So then I have some beets growing here. random tomatoes that are not going to do anything, but then some lettuce. So excited for our lettuces. They're coming in. Look at all these tomato seedlings. Like seriously, I should just pick them all out and then just grow them inside and have tomatoes all year long. Another tomato patch. I just took a bunch of, I'm still pruning. So a lot of people I think are probably just letting everything go, but if they're still providing me fruit, I might as well still prune them. Like what's the point of not, you know? So you see some green tomatoes down here that I knocked one off by accident. So I'm going to put them inside on the windowsill, ripen them up by accident, knock them off. But look at, I mean, so many green fruit still. Lots going on. So then my coleus is finally looking nice and healthy. It likes the shade here. This tomato patch still really healthy, putting out a lot of fruit still. Can't see the color there, but they are ripening, so you can kind of see it better in here. It's thinned out so much. I think it's just whatever we have is just growing strong right now, so that's good. And then over to here with the massive marigolds. Look at this little, I feel like the last several videos we've had little bee fellows. Look at the pollen on this guy's legs. Do you see that? I don't know if you can see it. Okay. He's loaded with pollen. That's pretty cool. So, trying not to disturb him. We have some eggplants. There's two. So, I think there's one. Actually, there's like 3 growing right now. They're on the other side. So that's good. And then I still have a ton of bell peppers. So here's another guy. Ton of green bell peppers, hoping that they can get to be ripened. Look at this mirror pepper. It's pretty cool just seeing how long it takes for these guys to ripen. And Ted, what are you doing down there? What you doing? And then the jalapeno peppers, they're still doing really well. I just pulled a few off of there. And lots of green peppers still. Do you guys still have peppers? How's it going with them? I still have, look at all these green jalapenos still to be grown and harvested. That's exciting. You know what's creepy is I think this tomato plant that I'm currently like standing in has a tomato hornworm on it somewhere, because I see it. I see damage of it, and I'm probably like, ew, it's probably on me. Ew. All right, these tomatoes are doing well too. So everybody over here is looking happy and healthy, which is cool. It's like the garden looks its best in the fall for me, I think. Right, Ted? Are you eating something? That can't be good. All right, let's take a look at the other side. Not too much going on over here. I do want to put, I did get onion seeds. I got long day variety and then some Walla Wallas. So next spring, I'm going to plant those when I plant my summer garden, or when I plant my spring crops, and that way they're like 120-day harvest for those onions about, I think. So I should be able to harvest them in the middle of the summer, and then we'll have onions. And then hopefully whatever we don't use, I mean, we don't have enough property that will have extra stuff to like cure, but at least it will give us some homegrown onions. I'm excited to try them. I just picked some up from the farm stand yesterday up the road, so I'm excited to just try those too. So yeah, let's take a look at this front garden. Promises I haven't looked over here. I have no idea what's going on in this guy. This healthy tomato plant, check this out. I don't think I did this. Do you see how it's like intertwined here? I don't think I even influenced that. This one seriously looks better now than it has all season. So interesting. This is a tomato that grew through the fencing. All the ones I actually grew are dying and dead. So, you know, you try and do things, and that is just not how it goes. So yeah, that's that garden. Still some very small, pretty marigolds, but the biggest thing I'm super excited about is still these mums. So they're so large that they're kind of falling apart still, but we have a yellow, and that one's my favorite. So I wish that I had done this a little differently, but that color I just think is so gorgeous. It's like a burgundy, really pretty color. So that's that. To check this one zinnia out on the way to the other tomato patch. Look at that guy. Pretty cool. It's like a crown. And then over here, our crazy tomato patch. Nothing much going on because the chickens get to it. But look at all these blossoms. I mean, the pollinators are loving it right now. They're everywhere. So many blossoms. No tomatoes that we can eat, but that's okay. Now, we did have blueberry bushes over here that the chickens have gotten into, and they're just not growing here at all this year. They didn't do anything really. So I think I'm going to move them to the front corner where I have hydrangeas that didn't flower, because I think the hydrangeas on that side are getting too much sun, and the blueberries over here are getting not enough sun. So I'm going to try and switch them. I just have to look up when the best time to transplant grown plants is. I feel like it would be better to do in the fall. Hi girls, you want to come say hi? I know you're all cooped. Hi Fliss. Flissa, Raptors. Now that we lost one of our COVIDs, we've got only 12, but that's actually plenty. Gonna come say hi, ladies? They love hiding out there. But we actually have to get in there because yesterday they knocked a ball jar, off of the porch, and now it's over there. Girls, you gonna come say hi? No? You're just gonna stay there? I don't know if you can see them all. They're all just hanging out. So that's this week's garden tour. Not too much going on, but I mean, honestly, look at this garden. I still have a ton of greenery. Still thriving, honestly. So I feel pretty blessed with that, especially when you look back and think about the fact that in this spring, with that late frost for Mother's Day, how I literally thought we weren't going to have a garden this year. That all of the time and money spent on, seeds and potting soil and putting the raised garden beds, I thought it was all for naught. So the fact that I'm standing here and this week is the start of October and we still have a thriving garden. The garden is so resilient. Mother Nature, she's unpredictable, but these plants have been around, especially these heirloom varieties. They've been around for centuries, and they know Mother Nature's tricks. And I think that that's one of the beauties, or the great concepts of using the heirloom seeds, is I just feel like the hybrids are awesome, and I have nothing against hybrids. The onions I got are hybrids, but those are made for their specific characteristics. And the heirlooms are as well, but they were cultivated for their special characteristics, but they've been around for so long, and I just feel like there's beauty in that, because they've survived the wrath of Mother Nature. And now we can say our summer garden did survive the wrath of Mother Nature this summer, because it's officially fall and we still are cranking out tomatoes and peppers and eggplants, and would be kale if it weren't for those darn cabbage worms. So, but anyway, guys, like I said earlier, if you haven't checked out our Instagram, check out Condo to Cottage. I just post little things there, more like daily things about the chickens and the pictures, like beautiful things I find in the garden. And it's fun for me. I really enjoy like networking with other garden people. So if you are newer to gardening and you're looking for a space to really connect with people, check out Instagram. There's an amazing community there of people, and already I've had questions answered from some Instagram friends, so pretty awesome. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week welcoming in this new month of October, and I will see you guys soon.